Hi, have 5 minutes? Let's make a page using Freckled Fawn's digital printables. Hi friends, Erica here, back with another first, using these digital printables from Freckled Fawn's April release. I used my own inkjet photo printer, and if you're curious on what I use at home, I'll be sure to link it below as well. Today I'll be scrapping a couple of photos of my kiddo while she's watercolor painting during daily craft time. So let's get started. I noticed that the printables had a lot of light and bright colors, so I want to add some contrast by backing my white page with a dark color. First, I'm going to stitch around the border with some green Gutermann thread. If you're curious on what sewing machine I have, I'll also link it below as well. I picked the color green because it was the background in the photos, and I noticed it wasn't represented in the printables either. So now that I have my contrast and my texture, I'm going to go ahead and map my photos with white cardstock and attack these bits and pieces. To be honest, this took quite some time because the flowers had a lot of delicate details that I had to make sure I got right. I'm building some layers starting with this torn mint paper that's also from my colored variety pack. I think it's Die Cuts with a View. And I'm using these pocket cards that came in my paper issue swag bag, mounted with foam adhesive tape of course, and just trying to figure out how I want everything placed. I added some journaling to the banner below, and I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to work these flowers in. I'm struggling a little bit just because this is something that is outside of my wheelhouse. It's something a little bit different, which I love to do, but I also want to make sure it looks good. So I'm using varying degrees of foam adhesive layering to provide some differentiation in dimension, and trying to visually create some sort of isosceles triangle, and visual triangle that is, between my 3 embellishment clusters, and I want to make sure that that floral cluster is a little bit below the rainbow and circle one. I definitely want to create a top corner cluster, so I am taking some of this washi tape and embellishment tag, and I'm going to layer them when I realize that something's bothering me. And I think what it is the navy blue does provide a bit of contrast, but I also need black. And I already know that I'm going to have a really long title, and it's going to consist of a lot of black alphas. So I'm kind of deconstructing my page and coming in with these stamps that I found at the $2.50 Joann bin. I've said it before. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do. I find some good deals in there sometimes. So now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and stamp some phrases onto my tags, and I feel like those touches of black definitely will help, especially once I put my title down. If you grew up in the 80s or before, you will probably know where this title is going because rap-based lyrics apparently are my favorite. And I'm using these Felicity Jane alphas. I believe one is Reagan, and the other one I can't for the life of me remember. I'm so sorry. I did throw out the cardboard insert quite a bit ago. It is going to be a bit of a long title, and I've always admired Victoria Marie's ability to be able to just put elements down wherever she feels like it seems like, and it looks perfect. And for some reason this title looks a little truncated to me, and it's just not flowing the way that I want. So I actually end up changing it a little bit because I want to mimic the same flow on the left side of the page as the right side, if that makes sense. I definitely don't want the left and right sides of my pages to be mirror twins, but I want there to be a similar flow. So now I'm just adding my date stamp, and I'm doing one last check on that visual triangle. So I have pink, mint, blue, yellow, black, and green. I am missing an orange right there in that corner. So I'm going to fussy blade out this phrase. I believe it says really fun, and I'm going to outline it in black just to make some contrast and make it stand out. And that's pretty much it. A page that's a little bit different and outside of what I normally do. I do have to thank my friend Doreen for being an enabler and keeping me aware of all Freckled Fawn sales. Thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to leave me a comment and say hello. I'd love to hear from you, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye!